you about plastic pollution and what we can do about it. So a lot of people use plastic, they throw it away. They don't really think about what happens to it. But unfortunately, after you throw plastic away, some of it's recycled, but a lot of it is ended up in the ocean. So what happens to the plastic that's in the ocean? So take a water bottle, for instance, floating around in the water. After time, with the sun, the waves, the ocean, it's broken down into smaller pieces called microplastics. There's a lot of concern with the microplastics because the plastic itself absorbs the chemicals. The microplastic breaks down small pieces, about the size of plankton, and fish are mistaking it as food. So the fish are ingesting it, other things are eating the fish, we're eating the fish. A lot of people are worried about that and what it's doing to us and doing to our ecosystem. So I've always had a love for the ocean, always loved the beaches my whole life. And also I'm a mom. I have a daughter, she's 4 years old, and I'm trying to raise her to be a decent human being, teaching her what is important, what she needs to care about. So those two things are what made me so passionate to talk to you guys about plastic pollution. So I know a lot of us, you guys don't really have kids yet, but one thing we have in common is that we are concerned about the plastic and the pollution, and we know that it's harmful. So you guys know those two things. So some people ask, what's the big deal? Everybody does it, throw it away, who cares? But it is really that bad. There's about 8 million metric tons in the ocean right now, polluting the water. In the last 10 years, within our lifespan, we've made more plastic than we have in the last 100. It's crazy. We're making a lot of plastic. Excuse me. The United States Environmental Protection Agency in 2015 did some research. They found out that in 2015, 34.5 million tons of plastic was created. What does that really look like? That's really hard for me to visualize, so I did some comparison. Take an elephant. Elephant weighs 5 tons. Simple math, 34.5, do the division, so 6.9 million elephants. 34.5 million tons of trash was made in a single year, which is equivalent to 6.9 million elephants in weight. That is a lot of plastic. It's crazy to think about. In 2015, they also said that 31 million tons of plastic was disposed of, and unfortunately only 9% of it was actually recycled. So we're barely scratching the surface. So what about the sea creatures? Ocean Crusaders Foundation reports that 100,000 sea creatures die of entanglement every year. Scientists say that seabirds, about 60% of them have ingested plastic. By 2050, that is expected to rise to about 99% of seabirds eating plastic. And unfortunately, with 8 million metric tons of plastic in the ocean, for a sea turtle, it only takes eating 14 pieces of it for it to become deadly. So what about us here in Tampa Bay, in the Pinellas County area? Last year, they published an article in the newspaper that said there was a marine chemist, Dr. Hastings. He wanted to know that same question, what's the pollution in Tampa Bay? And he found out that 9 trillion pieces of microplastic were in the Tampa Bay area. So it's 9 trillion pieces of microplastic. That's equivalent to 5 pieces of plastic per gallon. There's also a doctor that did some research on it as well. And water bottles, she took 250 water bottles from 9 different countries. She's from the State University of New York, Dr. Mason. She tested these water bottles and found out that there were 10 pieces of plastic per 1 liter of bottled water. So it's in our ocean, it's in our water, it's killing sea life. It's in our food. The sea is feeding our garbage back to us. The fish are eating the plastic. Sure, you can gut the fish, take out the plastic, but the toxins are in its body. Unless you eat shellfish, then you're eating the whole thing. But the toxins in the fish body is what we're consuming as well. So what does this, all that I'm saying to you, what does the future really look like? The Pew Charitable Trust is an organization that wanted to know as well, and they report that by the year 2050, so in about 30 years, all the plastic in the ocean will outweigh all the fish in the sea. And it's crazy to really think about. And it's kind of scary because you're like, well, what's going to happen at that point? What happens with all the plastic that's going on, going in the ocean? So I'm here to talk to you guys a little bit about what you can do. 5 things I want to bring to your attention that you could do today. So one easy thing, investing in stainless steel straws. Skip the straw. That's like a huge topic going on right now. It takes 100 to 500 years to dispose of, to break down a plastic straw. Also, plastic bags. Plastic bags can take anywhere from 20 years to 1,000 years to break down. Use reusable bags. Ask for paper. It takes 2 to 6 weeks for this to break down. Invest in water bottles. Reusable water bottles. You don't need the plastic ones. Something easy. They say about 167 water bottles are used a year per person. So 450 to 1,000 years for a water bottle to break down. There's also using safety razors instead of disposable razors, something else that you can do. And one thing that I'm going to try to do is use bamboo toothbrushes instead of plastic toothbrushes. It can take about 500 years for one plastic toothbrush to break down. A lot of people don't know, right now there's a lot of push for banning plastic straws and bags in St. Pete. There's also in legislature a bill right now pending that will ban all bans on plastics till 2024. So there's people in our government that are trying to stop people from being able to even ban it in general. So we can't rely on the government, municipalities to take responsibility and solve our problem. We have to be conscious consumers and make the right choices. In general, we just have to stop using plastic, choose better products. Investing in companies that support things that you believe in is a start. So now you know what it's doing, what plastic pollution is doing, you know what you can do, and you know that if we don't make a change, what will happen. People know that there's a better way. We know that it's harmful. It's just deciding plastic is harmful to all of us. So it's going to be a personal decision to make that choice, making a better choice. You don't need that 24 case of water bottles. You can choose safer alternatives. So I encourage you to be leaders in your families, with your friends and your networks, and stand out and choose the alternative. Pass along the facts. Don't be afraid. So we all want to enjoy the beach, enjoy the ocean. Those statistics kind of scare me. Like I said, as a mom, I look at what the world's going to look like for my daughter in the future, and for your children and friends. So I hope to enjoy the beach when I'm old and gray, and I hope it's still standing then. So thank you.